डिक्टेशन शुरू होता है। द ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट इज द वेस्ट वे टू measure a country's economy. GDP is the total value of everything produced by all the people and companies in the country. It does not matter if they are citizens or foreign owned companies, if they are located within the country's boundaries. They, the government, counts their production as GDP. There are many different ways to measure a country's GDP. Nominal GDP is the raw measurement that includes price, increases. The Bureau of Economic Analysis measures nominal GDP quarterly. It revises the quarterly estimate each month as it receives updated data. Real GDP compares economic output from one year to another. You must account for the effects of inflation. To do this, the we calculates real GDP. It does this by using a price deflator. It tells you how much prices have changed since a base year. The B multiples the deflator by the nominal GDP. The way makes three important distinction which involves income from US companies and pupil from outside the country are not included. That removes the impacts of exchange rates and trade policies. The effects of inflation are taken out only. The final product is counted. For example, a US footwear manufacturer uses legs and laces and other materials made in the United States only. The value of the shoe gets counted. The shoelace does not. GDP growth rate is the percent increases in GDP from quarter to quarter. It tells you exactly how fast a country's economy is growing. Most countries use real GDP to remove the effect of inflation. GDP per capita is the best way to compare gross domestic product between countries. That's because some countries have enormous economic outputs because they have so many people to get a more accurate picture. It is helpful to use GDP per capita. This divides gross domestic product by the number of residents. It is a good measure of the country's standard of living. The best way to compare gross domestic product y the year and between countries is with real GDP per capita. This takes out the effects of inflation, exchange rates, and differences in population. The different measures of GDP are great tools for comparing the economies of other countries or how an economy changes over time. When economists talk about the size of an economy, they are referring to GDP, the growth rate measures whether the economy is growing more quickly or more slowly than the quarter before. If it produces less than the quarter before, it contracts and the growth rate is negative. This signals a recession. As bad as a recession is, you also do not want the growth rate to be too high, then you will get inflation. Full stop.